Hi everyone, my name is Soraya. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about twin flame boundaries because this comes up on the healing journey. You and your twin flame having some type of a relationship with each other and all of a sudden boundaries. Maybe you're questioning whether or not you need to draw a boundary. Maybe your twin flame has drawn a boundary with you and you're probably feeling some kind of way about that. You're processing that. And so I want to just talk about the topic of boundaries so that you understand it when it comes to twin flames and you see the purpose of it, because it's actually a very divine thing, as always with boundaries, but with twin flames, it's a very divine thing, an important thing actually to know about, because basically a boundary is a choice. When they're used properly, it's a choice to respect yourself and to choose love only. And you can't choose for other people. Even with your twin flame, technically you choose as one, but you can't like go and like make them agree with you. Actually, when you do that, you enforce that belief in separation, and that's what you manifest. So you don't control it. Just don't control people. It's not a good decision. Not loving. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good for you or them. But a boundary really, what it does, honestly, is it facilitates a healthy relationship. No matter who it's with, you're basically saying, I want to have a healthy relationship with you. That's literally what a boundary is. It's like, hey, I don't want to have a relationship that is unloving, and I don't want that for you either. And so this is something that we need to talk about. And so if your twin flame draws a boundary with you, respect it. Okay, guys, respect it. I know that twin flames are kind of like a bigger thing now. Like they're kind of like becoming more like something that people talk about. They've always existed ever since the beginning of time, but it's kind of becoming more mainstream, the topic of twin flames, even if people don't understand it, just like the phrase or the term twin flame is talked about. So there's a lot of people that are kind of, interested in the subject, and sometimes people want to be with their twin flame so badly, and they feel this love and they want to have it, reciprocated, and they want to have the relationship that they know that they can have in their heart with their twin flame. And they're not wrong about that. You can have an incredible relationship with your twin flame, but you've got to go about it the right way, because anything can be toxic and you don't want a toxic relationship in general. So when it comes to boundaries, I don't care who it is, respect boundaries, like respect boundaries. It's a loving thing to do. You're never going to make loving progress with somebody if you're not willing to respect their boundaries. So if your twin flame's drawing a boundary with you, respect it, whatever it is. If they need space, if they need time, if, they ask you to, not bring like I don't know, like, it's not about not triggering them, but like, they ask for like privacy in a certain area, or they ask for certain things, like they could draw a boundary, and that's okay. It's actually a really good thing. It's a good sign. It means that they love the relationship and they want the relationship to be healthy. So, yeah, it's okay. Respect it. Okay, guys, none of that chasing after your twin flame. I've talked a little bit about the runner chaser dynamic with twin flames, which is a myth. It's absolutely a myth. Jeff and Shalia completely debunked the runner chaser thing. It doesn't exist. And so you don't want to go chasing your twin, in your experience. It's just, it basically repels your twin flame to try to do that. So, like it's about surrender, and it's actually just about you being in alignment with love and doing what love guides you to do, not that control energy. That chasing energy is control. Breaking boundaries is like a control. It's a forceful, pushy energy. That is not really coming from love. So you want to let that go, because you don't want to I'm telling you guys, think about it. Like your twin flame may be the right person for you, but you want to have the best relationship with them. Like it's not just about having the right person, you want to have the right relationship with the right person. So you don't want to run a toxic pattern with your twin, just like with anybody else. You just don't want to do it. So respect it. And now I want to talk a little bit about, what if you need to draw a boundary? How do you know if you need to? What to do? How to handle it? So here's the thing. This is speaking for you, okay? Your twin flame can draw any boundary that they want, anything can come up with anyone else in your life, a family member, a friend, whatever, like that's their choices in terms of their boundaries. but I want to just speak to boundaries in a way that serves your union based on how twin flames work and healing separation. So the first thing you want to look at is if there's an upset there. Not because you're not going to draw the boundary. The boundary, if it needs to be drawn, do draw it. If you're in an unhealthy relationship, if someone's mistreating you, if you're being disrespected, draw the boundary by all means. Like, go on ahead and do that immediately. But check and see, like, if there's upsets there. How do you feel about the relationship? You're not responsible for other people's choices, but you are responsible for how you feel. Nobody can get into your feelings and resolve them for you. Your feelings, you're the most intimate person in the world to you emotionally. And so you've got to be the one to be with yourself when you're hurting. And that's what this work really teaches you to do, is how to love yourself. And so you want to just check in with yourself and see if you're upset and resolve that. It has nothing to do with the other person, it's for you. So take your time, feel into it, and love yourself wherever you're hurting or upset. And when it comes to, getting clear on whether or not you need to draw a boundary, you just want to really look at, where is there love and where is there a choice? Like, is there a choice for love here and a choice for not love here? Like, you want to kind of see where that line is. If, like, for instance, in a friendship, you could have certain areas where you can meet in that friendship and it's extremely respectful, but you could have like certain topics. Think about like your family at Thanksgiving. This is like a common thing where like people have like certain family members where it's like certain topics just like set them off. And that's why sometimes it can be triggering being around family, is because it brings up all those patterns and all of that stuff. So you want to just look at the relationship and be like, what's loving and what isn't? And loving doesn't mean people pleasing. It doesn't mean that they always make you feel good. Actually, when people love you, a lot of times they'll trigger you quite a bit, and that includes your twin flame. Not because they don't love you, but because that trigger points you to a place where you can love yourself more and experience more peace. So it's not about pleasing. And so it's not like, oh, I have boundaries on anybody that triggers me and I don't want to hang out with them because they trigger me. You want to really be careful about that, because it's so tempting to do that sometimes. You'll be so triggered and you'll just be like, this person is toxic. I don't want any kind of relationship with them. And it's not because it's an unloving relationship. It's just because you're experiencing a big trigger. And that's okay to become aware of that. Like, it's safe to notice that and be compassionate about it. But it's also important to be honest about it with yourself, first and foremost. This isn't about anybody else. So when you identify places that are truly unloving, meaning it's not just about, oh, they triggered me, but it's that they're doing something that is disrespectful and just straight up unloving towards you, and that they're not meeting you in love. You're not able to have a loving relationship where you meet in love. It takes two people meeting in love to have a loving relationship, and they're not meeting you there. And if that's the case, then that's where you want to draw the boundary. And only you can know the intricacies of your relationship, where that boundary needs to be drawn. Depending on what your relationship with God is like, you can talk to God about it. If you have an Ascension coach, we can kind of help you like navigate that to get clear within yourself about what feels good for you. There's no sense of like, this is the right thing to do and this is what you should do. It's completely, unique to every person. But as a coach, one of the things that we can do is just kind of help you, like, by asking the right questions and by pointing things out and being like, how do you feel about this? And what about this? And what if your twin flame did this, and whatever it may be. So it's a process to get clear. Sometimes you can feel nervous having those conversations. Sometimes you can feel afraid of what will happen in that relationship if you bring it up. These are all upsets to work through, and feelings about boundaries. So take your time with it. It's a bit of a journey unto itself. It is so worth the work that it takes to draw healthy boundaries. It does take work. It takes reflection. It takes patience. It takes compassion. It takes loving yourself and working through your upsets. So take the time. It's worth it. I used to have all kinds of different relationships in my life, and different degrees of unhealthy, to say the least. And thanks to this work, and thanks to what I'm sharing here with boundaries from Jeff and Shalia's work, God, I don't have any toxic relationships in my life. And if something comes up, it gets handled very quickly. So it's so worth it to take the time here. You don't want to be leaking your energy, wasting your energy. And even if it's a good relationship overall, if there's unhealthy patterns in that good relationship, you want to be able to talk to that person about it so that you can have a fully loving relationship, not just like it's loving here, but I tolerate this, or, this feels bad, but we just, push it under the rug. Like, that doesn't help your relationship. The most loving thing you can do for your relationship is to shine a light and just bring the love and have an open conversation about it. So do it safely. If you find that you're in a dangerous situation, like, it happens. Like maybe you're in a situation with someone who's abusive, get safe, like protect yourself. That's the first thing, always take care of your safety and, navigate it delicately based on, the situation that you're in. But this is just some general stuff about boundaries. So if you would like more support, I am a certified Ascension coach. I've been doing this, like I said, for many years. You can find my website and all that information beneath this video. All the resources from Jeff and Shalia are also beneath this video, super helpful. This is where I learned all this stuff about boundaries and healthy relationships, so highly recommend. Jeff and Shalia's teaching is like, it's just so nice. I treat it like a podcast. I'll just be like driving down the road, listening to a TFAS class, or like at an appointment or whatever, like where, like I don't have to like, engage with someone else. I'll be listening to a class, doing dishes, getting ready, cooking, whatever it may be. It's so nice to like, just learn from people who are really good at loving, it's just really makes a big difference who you listen to and what you take in. And having healthy relationships is a huge part of life. And so take the time to invest in yourself here and give yourself what you need so you can have that. It's a gift you give yourself to master this. So like I said, all resources beneath this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.